Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Hxro Labs, episode 42. Big day in the markets today. Bitcoin's moved up quite significantly, sitting here at 12.8 right now. Yeah, we're coming at some major resistance, but I think the big news of the day that we're going to be going over and dissecting is the PayPal news. I think this has been something that's been a long time coming. Reading their reports, this is something that they've been working on for the past year now, and they partnered with Paxos, who is another stablecoin issuer and kind of like a fiat stablecoin crypto gateway. And they will be facilitating all of the crypto to fiat transfers. So essentially, people can buy and sell Bitcoin on there, but they cannot move it. They don't have access to their keys. And I think the biggest thing is that they don't have access to the keys. So essentially what this is a on-ramp, a permissioned on-ramp. It's obviously huge. They have a user base of 300 plus million, and now they're going to have access to crypto. And more importantly, it's going to add a lot of utility for crypto users. Is my screen being shared right now? Okay, great. All right. Anyways, yeah. So it's a huge utility value add for crypto users, and it's going to increase the brand awareness. It's just all great news, really. At the end of the day, here, right? It's going to catapult our network effects, household brand name awareness, all of that stuff. So, and they're going to be rolling out a lot more through 2021, early 2021. So I think we'll see some rapid scale there and interesting developments coming from there. But let's dive into the charts. So yeah, we've broken this key. Actually, let's bring up here. Perfect. All right. So bullish throwback. It held 10-2. Perfect. What do we need to see now? Well, ideally, this range here is now the key level to be holding. You can draw that off there. So what we did, again, we just take the former range, turns to resistance and flips it back to support. Yeah, we were saying, anything above 12.4, 11.4, 11.7, that was the long signal entry once it had cleared this bearish throwback, essentially right here, right? Once it had cleared this level, it was a green light. So, now we're at resistance. Tough to take along here. Obviously, macro is, bullish. Very, 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 very bullish right now. But is this a spot you want to be taking a fresh long into? Yeah, we could probably see some more upside here. Just again, I'm just going purely off TA. I'm sure there's going to be as this news starts to circulate, it's going to get a lot more people interested. Let's quickly pull up. Where's my price range? Okay, here we go. So what are you risking? These highs here are probably this is the target to get swept, right? That 13.8 level. So what I like to do is just set an alarm just right below. And there you go. Now you don't have to watch the charts. It's that easy. That's why we like alarms. So what are we going to be looking for if you want to enter this market? Okay, well, I'm going to take these former resistance levels, and this is the key throwback test that eventually I'm pretty sure that we're going to get, right? Label it up. And this is an intraday throwback. I'll call it bullish throwback. All right. So what we can see price do here then. This is a daily chart. Maybe I'll take it down now. I'll run the daily. That's interesting. Ethereum has been lagging this move, so I think that, again, we always say in a true bull market, Ethereum is going to be the real long to take rather than Bitcoin, just because of the volatility. It's going to be much higher, and the percentage gains will be higher. Anyways, so we're hoping to see these highs get swept here, so we can see something like this, and a little consolidation spike, and back to the bullish. This would be the most this would be the most bullish thing that I could see, rather than just a straight candle to 30,000 or something. But I do suspect we're going to see some resistance in these levels. If we do sweep them, and if I see that swing failure pattern, I would be looking to. I don't really want to short any of this right now, especially on the back of this news. But I will be looking to rebuy at this level here, so around 12.3-ish, right? So that's kind of my thoughts on Bitcoin. It looks super strong. There's Yeah, momentums are high, but the thing with the momentum indicators, these can ride for a very long time, right? So don't just rush to be shorting this stuff just yet. Same thing, like look at the weekly, right? Super fucking strong, and that's the benefit of candlesticks versus indicators. These things are all lagging, right? Candlesticks are real time information, and that's why if you're just getting into trading, learning candlestick patterns and what they represent is probably going to be your first step. Let's dive into Ethereum here. Again, we always say look for the markets that are lagging in trends or possibly a trend formation, because odds are they're going to catch up, right? So what are we looking for here then? Key level, this 360, 365. I would say this is kind of like the invalidation point right now. Like for some reason the market's shit out here. I wouldn't necessarily want to be holding any longs if 360 breaks. I'd be expecting a retest 320. I think it's not that likely in the short term right now. I think the momentum's pretty strong on the bulls, especially coming off this news. Ethereum is also going to be available on PayPal, so is Bitcoin Cash, and for some reason Bitcoin Cash and Litecoin as well. I'm very curious to see why they chose the coins they did, or like the metrics that they were tracking to make these decisions, right? Why? Because you could potentially try and predict what else they could be adding in the future. Do I think they're going to be in a rush to add DeFi coin YX? Probably not. Right? They're probably going to stick to the high cap, the high liquidity stuff. They have to, right? They have such a large user base. If there's any demand for those assets, they need the liquidity. So I don't expect to see any, real shit coins listed on through PayPal anytime soon. But yeah, for Ethereum, what are we looking for right now? Well, we have some resistance levels to get through here. I don't, it's nothing too major. That 420, 425 level is going to be our first target right now. But again, this is that key bearish throwback level that we've been watching for a while. I think, just again on the momentum, price is probably going to break it. That's what I'm expecting. If BTC kind of chills out and consolidates here, it's going to be, decent for the altcoins as well. I know they've seen a bounce today, and we'll get into altcoins in a second and kind of go over some interesting price action that we saw there. We don't really see it too often. But let's quickly get our targets here, what I'm looking for. So again, this isn't necessarily the level you want to be buying, unless you're trying to scalp something. We could see, like I said, pushing up from here, you're only looking at a 5% gain. However, how I would want to trade this would be something like this. So if I'm confident that Ethereum is going to break up to this range, into the 450 area, what could we see? We could see something like this: a drive to the 423, 425 area, and the comeback. This is what you would want to buy, right? This throwback off this key bearish level, right? If this flips to support, that's a huge signal for you, right? That's a huge signal to be fucking get an omega long. So yeah, then I would be expecting a move all the way up, 450, 460. Again, I think the momentum's pretty strong here. So when Ethereum gets going, I think it's going to go fast and hard, and not give too many opportunities to get back in. So I'm looking to build swing trade positions at this point rather than day scalping and things. And also, I wouldn't want to be taking large counter trend trades. So if you are looking for some short setups, maybe dial back that leverage and position sizing proportionate to the counter trend. Anyways, so what we'd be looking for here, if I see this, imagine this is a little higher high here, I'd be pretty confident this thing's going to go like that. Overall, I think this is going to follow the trajectory into 2021 regardless. It's just a matter of time rather than if at this point. I think Roger Ver is probably on the PayPal stuff. I would imagine so. Who else is their biggest advocate, right? Some of the OKX guys. But yeah, let's take this quickly down to the 4 hour. Don't want to spend too much time here because we have a lot of stuff to get through today. We're taking chart requests a little closer, about probably about 30, 20, 25 minutes or so. So think about those charts that you want to see thrown up here. But yeah, this looks really good, right? These higher. This is the biggest thing here. This is your confirmation of the trend is this support resistance flip right here, right? So that's awesome to see. Let's quickly take a look at the volume. Now, that was something that was missing on this Bitcoin move yesterday, like specifically on this. Oh, actually, let's go to the daily. That's what was missing on this little run up here these past 2 days was the volume, right? We had a little ramp, and then finally we get a nice spike, which I believe, it's almost a two-month volume high. So there's momentum on the move. That's what the point is. So these things are not something you necessarily want to be fading until it gets into those key resistance levels. So this is the other interesting. Bitcoin has kind of moved away from mirroring SPX's moves, at least in today's session, right? SPX is holding up here, U.S. election, blah blah blah. Bullish throwback. This is what at the end of the day, this is what matters. So bullish throwback right here, back down to like 3,400, and this is a great level of confluence, right? Former all-time highs, 3,400. Former resistance levels, and now look what's happening. Literally the exact same thing that we were just pointing out on Ethereum, right? Resistance, support flip, multiple tests, and it goes. So is that what we're going to see here, right? Resistance, support flip, multiple tests, right? I think confirmation of an up move. Really, it can be that simple. A break of the diagonal, and I think we would be moving off to target these levels here. And that's going to be good for crypto. I still think the correlation is there. But again, this news catalyst is exactly that. It's a news catalyst. It's a huge momentum move. But I do suspect this correlation will continue. I don't think we're going to be moving away from that. Quickly looking at the king of kings, the US dollar. It's been getting shit on, right? Stimulus talks, is it going to be 2 trillion, 3 trillion, 10 trillion? Who knows? And this is something like I'm avoiding FX right now. Going into the election, this flippy floppy with the stimulus news and the algorithms responding to every fucking word, and that's just how that market is, right? And that's why they put out so many hopeful statements, because they know the market participants, in large, are automated traders, high frequency traders, just algorithms, right? Scanning the news and the words. So let's dive into some altcoins here. BNB, we love this one. I think it's the Binance Smart Chain's growth is, continuously just mooning 10, 12% day on day. Screen is dark. I'm really not a big fan of light screen. Is there a way to, I think you can dial it back a little bit. I won't get into it now. Anyways, bullish throwback. This is the key level to hold right now. I think crypto is getting ready to trend as a whole. So looking at the altcoins that have strong fundamentals, strong networks, strong user bases, those are the coins you want to be buying here. At this point, crypto is not necessarily is it going to work? An experiment, right? It's more so, okay, it's here to stay at this point. Look, it's getting integrated absolutely everywhere. So that question is gone. Now it's a matter of, okay, I know the space is here to stay. I need to find the value, the infrastructure, right? Like the layer one shit. BNB, they're just constantly crushing. And what do we think is going to happen in a bull run? The fees are going to skyrocket, right? The user base is going to skyrocket. AKA more demand for BNB, AKA price number go up. So what are we going to be looking for here? A break of this daily high right here, $32. If we see this break, we start closing above here. So what I could see happening, something like this playing out. So we've held this bullish level there. Take out this high here. Now this is the confirmation. If you didn't get long off this bullish flow back down here, if we see price, right, this is the resistance level, right? If we see price come back here, tap that and supports, that's your signal to get long right there, right off 32.5. And we're going to be targeting very clearly, these range highs more so, but I do like drawing stuff across, right? There was respect to this level. So, maybe a little short-term resistance around like $35, $36. So we can see it move up. Again, just the staircase, sweep the highs, and off to the races it goes, right? So that's what we're going to be looking for in BNB. And spoiler alert, a lot of the charts are going to look like that. Theta, we were pretty aggressive on the short on this one. And the reason why was because look at all these. Here, let me pull up one here. So this is that's going to be a great example. MTA. You know how much I love this coin. A lot of community. Okay, so it's finally a green candle in the daily there. Okay, so we were pretty bearish on this stuff, right? We had two pretty major support breaks. The first one being up here led to this move down, as well as this support breaking down here, which has led to a was that 40% decrease or something? Let's see. Yeah, 50%. Jesus. So that's what we're saying. Anytime you have these major levels get broken, those aren't the moves to fade. If you're short, you add. Right? You're just adding into the momentum of a move. In this case, a fucking waterfall. But the point is, we were still bearish on this stuff, right? But your risk reward isn't as strong, right? Even if you think the support's going to break, right? You don't know for sure. And technically, you're shorting a down move of what was that, like 65, 70%, even more, 80%. You're shorting a coin that's down 80% versus a coin that's up 600%, right? Your risk reward is much higher here, shorting Theta. So this, the trade's completed. It came back again, guys. Wyckoff throwbacks. Look how good they are, right? For entries and exits. This is pretty good. And like if crypto really holds up here over the next few weeks going into the election, if you could take a long here. I don't think the trend is confirmed broken until we see a clearing of this resistance here at like 0.69, right? This is the bearish throwback level. Yeah, there were some wicks down here and stuff, but I like going off the bodies of the candles more so for this stuff. And this was the candle that really broke the camel's back right here. So price could even stop right here. This was really the fucking candle that kicked off this move. So I am looking to I would reshort this one. I'm going to set some alarms and just let it be. If this bullish throwback level breaks, where do you think this thing's going, right? It's fucking back down to 38, 39 cents. And I think it's all going to depend if crypto is going to see a liquidity drain into Bitcoin or not, right? And that brings us to our main point here today. Altcoin liquidity, it cycles through, right? Stable coins, obviously, I think they're, Tether's at 15 billion or something. The on-ramps and rail systems, I just call it, so like how money flows through the system, I call those ramps, right? Or rails, sorry, liquidity rails. It's much easier to move liquidity now because of stable coins, right? That's the underlying point here. So we saw, alts got absolutely fucking massacred these past couple of weeks. We'll get to RSR in a second. I guess there's some Coinbase rumors there. And Brian Armstrong's also an investor. But what we saw was the majors just consolidating, right? So normally, what we normally see is if we see a market ride, a sector-wide rally, liquidity is going to be everywhere. But generally, if the Bitcoin news right now, liquidity is going to concentrate into Bitcoin, right? It almost makes no sense because everybody's trying to panic selling their alts at 70% losses, right? To catch a 2-5% Bitcoin move doesn't make sense. But I think why that's happening is because historically, when Bitcoin really starts to move, like I said, it's that liquidity drain, and everybody exit their alts to go into Bitcoin, and that could happen again for sure. But I think this time is going to be a little different. I think it's a much more liquid market. I think the market sentiment is a lot clearer. I think regulations, the regulatory clarity and the custody solutions are all coming up. I expect a massive increase in liquidity into the space. And that's why I think all coins will be rising here. The ones with true fundamentals. I still believe the majority of alts are fucking worthless. There was a really good chart here regarding that. Let's see if I can pull it up here. Basically, it was saying, out of the top 10 major coins, I think there were 6 of them that were only doing like $1,000 in fees or something ridiculous. Where is that chart? I can't find it. Point is that I think there's a massive liquidity wave coming into the space. It's going to be institution driven, and I think it's going to hit the majors first. So Bitcoin and Ethereum will probably be the biggest beneficiaries of that. But what's going to happen after that? Liquidity is going to pool out into other coins, other projects, and it's going to be at a much rapid rate versus what we saw in previous years because of the rails being much more efficient now with more stable coin liquidity, right? So Solana, I like this project. I'm bullish on it long term. I do want to get a position. I've been holding off for quite a while, right? I was pretty bearish. We both were these past few weeks on alts. Sure enough, we're coming in some pretty key levels here, and I think the altcoin buyback is on the horizon here. Let's take a quick look at Bitcoin dominance because I know. Let's see. I don't remember the tags for everything, so Google, does a really good job filtering out everything for you. Okay, yeah. So you can see finally, we had a 2-month, almost 3-month consolidation period here on Bitcoin dominance, and now it's really coming to this key level, right? So this is why I'm saying why alts could potentially be bouncing at this point. Jesus Christ. Okay, there we go. Yeah. All right. So this is the key point here for alts, right? So if alts are going to bottom, it's probably going to be in this range, and then we could expect some significant 20-30% bounces in a lot of those stuff that got especially DeFi more in particular, which got absolutely fucking massacred this past couple months. So this is the bearish throwback. It was untested previously, right? So this is the first test of it, and sure enough, it lines up really well, doesn't it? Bitcoin, like we've said, coming into this key resistance level. Right, like you can already see it's a little bit of a price reaction there, but yeah, Bitcoin coming to this key resistance level, paired, you got confluence now with the Bitcoin dominance coming to this key resistance level. You got a lot of these altcoins now they're either at support or getting very close to support, except Uni. We'll talk to that in a little bit. Algo PERP, same thing like Algorand, right? We already know our thoughts on that 50-cent target. If we can clear this little range here, 37 cents. But yeah, I think there's a lot of things lining up right now for alts. And I'm not a big Bitcoin trader anymore, really, just because like the percentage moves are fucking tiny, right? Like, yeah, Bitcoin's up 7-8% right now, but altcoins are, yesterday they were dumping 10-15%, the majority of them, and you can trade them all on leverage on FTX or Binance, right? The point is that as a trader, you want to trade volatility, right? If you want to accumulate Bitcoin, you don't necessarily want to trade it. It's not the greatest asset to be traded anymore. The volatility, there's going to be probably spurts of it, but as more institutional money comes in, and as the market cap continues to increase, it becomes significantly more difficult to move the price, hence the drop in volatility, right? And that's really, really good long term for the narrative of a store of value, right? Investors want that security. They want that stability. And that's kind of what Bitcoin's shifting to. So I can see the arguments at the same time from the Bitcoin Cash guys, right? Of, the idea of a truly decentralized global currency it's probably not going to be Bitcoin, right? I think that's pretty clear at this point. So that's huge opportunity in the market. Who can fill that, right? And I think it's going to be a whole bunch of different coins, especially privacy coins, right? We're going to dive into those because I think that is going to be a trend that really starts to pick up steam here. And, we're all about identifying trends early on to position yourself, right? So that's what we're going to be looking at. And, Zcash as well. What did I want to pull? Oh, yeah, CoinMarketCap. So what do we have here today? 100,000. 38. Wow, look at the volumes. And that's what I'm saying, guys. Look at the volume on fucking stable coins, and in particular Tether here. Way over Bitcoin. I think it's more than Bitcoin and Ethereum almost combined. right? That's what I'm saying. Like, same thing when getting to altcoins. People don't need to buy Ethereum or Bitcoin anymore necessarily for their first purchase, right? They can just go directly to stable coins, right? So, $236 billion market cap. It's going to take a lot of fucking dough to move this moving forward, and only expect that to increase. All right, let's take a quick look at the chat here. Guys, if you have any chart requests or anything, we will start looking at that. Haven protocol, privacy going, yeah, I agree. Like, now's the time, similar to what we were doing with Polkadots, looking for those layer 2 projects. Now's the time to be looking into the privacy space and seeing who has network effect, comparing the different privacy technologies, right? Like, privacy tech has been, I think it was one of the first coins I was involved with, XC coin. It's now BlockNet. Dartcoin, right? So yeah, a lot of iterations. Not sure which one's going to come out on top. My bet is probably on Monero at this point. But let's quickly dive into a couple of these charts here, specifically Zcash. I believe the halvening is on its way. So you got 2 narratives, and this is why I like Zcash right now, moving into 2021 here, because it has 2 huge narratives for it, right? It has the privacy narrative, which I believe is going to be big, and especially, like, essentially, Bitcoin is turning into a giant surveillance chain, right? So I think privacy coins are going to be the big winner in 2021. And this chart is it's not looking too bad, right? All right, let's take a quick look at it. Our inevitable targets, like, clearly the targets are going to be up here. Whoop, just like that. And these are going to be big trades, guys. Like, this is why I'm really excited in the privacy coins, because they haven't really broken out, right? So that's why I'm excited, because there's going to be so much upside on these things. What you could be waiting for, first move right there, like that. And inevitably, if you're in a swing trade, which, again, that's what we're trying to position ourselves for right now, is the big swing trades in the 2021. If we believe that we're entering a true bull market, which I believe we're about to, then you're going to want to be positioning yourself for a little longer term thinking. Get that short term mindset, toss it aside. Those are good for bear market stuff, but in bull markets, get it out of here. So we'll label this up. Unfortunately, yeah, you got to label it a bear throwback, right? It was never really tested. It can price, except I guess right there. But this range never really made it. So what do we need to see to trigger this trade? I need to see price trading above here. Simple as that. So go ahead, set an alarm, $92 around there. If we see price moving up, 92 to $100, I'm pretty confident that 27 days away, right? So like thanks Chris for that, by the way. 27 days until we see a halvening. All these narratives are lining up. We got the bull market right behind us as well. The technicals don't look bad either, right? So these are huge opportunities that haven't even started yet. And that's what we're looking to identify, right? If you want to be, you could say these are going to be your stops below $50. That's actually not bad. This isn't a bad trade if you want to trade this range, or try and get in early, right? What would we be looking for then? Actually, let's use something we normally don't use. Say you get long right here. Oh wow. Tighten this stuff up. So there's your stop. No, our target is not 586. If it breaks these levels, though, wow, it is like Zcash has so much upside, right? If it breaks these 2 key resistance levels. So I've been a huge Zcash hater for quite a while, and just strictly off the inflation schedule. That's it, right? That's it. I only care about the inflation and the effect that's going to have on market price. So this is a fantastic, I can actually probably tighten that up even a little bit more there. 6 to 1. I'll fucking take. That's a pretty good bet to be making. Anyways, yeah, Zcash, pretty bullish on it. Looks great. Quickly take a look at the Privacy King, XMR USD. Oh, wow. See, this is what I'm saying, guys. Monero looks incredibly more bullish. I haven't looked at this chart in ages, by the way. So you can see it's an old blue thing even. But yeah, this is what I'm saying. Like some of these privacy coins are already starting to break out. So if that's not like if we talk about lagging markets all the time, right? If Ethereum was lagging Bitcoin, which it was, right? This was an easy as fuck trade to take, right? Well, same principle right here now with Zcash and XMR. This basically, it really confirms the thesis, my trade thesis around this. And what are we going to be looking for here now at this point? If this level holds as support, which I would be amazed, but if it does, oh my God, this thing is about to fly. So let's quickly mark it up here. We can call it support now, Let's call it support. Let's call it what it is. You already have that nice green wick into that. That's fantastic to see. And what again down here, you see resistance flips support. Fantastic. So I can see one move, two move. Yeah, I can see so another pattern I really like are 3 drives. You see it a lot. You see it a lot. So first drive, right? Second drive. And could this be the third drive? Could this be the third drive that we're looking for? Where would that take us? Probably right into here, guys. Look at, oh my God, look at the amount of confluence. Oh, nice little volume. So that's why price can really fly in between here. It's because there's between like 140 and 165, right? It can really fly there. It's like it's essentially a gap in a volume in the volume profile. So I doubt there's a lot of liquidity there in terms of resistance. But I would be expecting significant resistance around 165, 175. But I think this is the trade, right? As long as the support level here holds, I'm pretty confident that we'll see 160, 170 promptly. So yeah, those are kind of like my thoughts around the privacy coins. I guess we'll take a quick little bit more Beam privacy coins. So I'm not totally in tune with all the different techs here. But happy to take a look here. I guess it's on Binance already. Oh, wow. Complete opposite of what we're seeing in the major privacy coins. Again, I don't know what Beam necessarily does, so I can't really comment on their privacy approach. But from a technical point of view, on this chart, it doesn't look great. But that's what I'm saying, guys. Like, remember what we were just saying with Bitcoin dominance, key resistance, Bitcoin coming into key resistance. Altcoins like this, while they look fucking atrocious, are at key support levels, right? This is like essentially the last weekly support level. If it's going to bounce, it's going to be here. Ren, okay, we'll get into that in a second there. One of my favorites, we all know it. This low here, obviously, could be something. Anyways, weekly support, not an area you want to be shorting. If we see, Bitcoin just like kind of stall out just a little bit, maybe consolidate between 12 and 13.5, I think that'll give some life to these alts, and there's going to be some really great trades to be taken on these as well. Do I like that? A little bit, but first, so this would be a resistance level to watch for sure. But we can't skip the gun here. Can't jump the gun, sorry. This is going to be the first level to clear. And again, if we move over here, I'd be pretty confident that price will be moving up to like 50 cents or so. But yeah, I don't think there's too much volume on this thing right now or anything. But anyways, you could risk, it's pretty okay on the risk reward side of things as well. And take a long even right here, drag that stop up. So sometimes when you're using tools on this, especially on the, typing in text, it keeps your overlay on it. So when you press on the fucking thing, it creates something you don't want. So what would we be looking for here? Well, this would be my true target, right? Again, I'm pretty confident that in a bull market, these things aren't just going to fucking bleed out to zero. So 5 to 1 looks good. I like it. As long as this holds, I'm okay with it. Quick look at the 4 hour. Yes, it's not great. Lower lows, lower highs. It hasn't even started really forming a bottom yet. It's something I wouldn't be taking a trade on just here until it starts giving you some bullish momentum signs. It's literally below every resistance level, 25 cents, right? So nothing too exciting there. All right, moving over to Ren, USD. Quickly, let's take a look at this though. Look at this, just fucking parabolic. Still almost at $2 billion, doubling my initial forecast of how fast I thought this would grow. Same thing with Ren, continuing that nice little sloping slide up. I like seeing that, right? So that looks good. The fundamentals look really strong. So now that I know that, this is a coin I definitely want to have in my portfolio. And it's been respecting the technicals pretty well, right? Like, let's quickly draw this up here. Oh, wow, look at that. What an entry this would have been. Whoops, that's too big. Well, I'll shrink this one down just a bit like that. Perfect. All right. So this is the trend invalidation point. Anything below 16 cents, something's terribly wrong, and exit all markets. But I don't think we're going to be seeing that anytime soon. All right, nice bullish engulfing on the daily. This is, I really do think alts will be bouncing pretty soon here once Bitcoin chills out. So again, price, pretty well respecting those bearish throwback levels that we talk about all the time. And now, what does this signal to us? Well, if bulls can move above this bearish throwback level, we know we're going to have a swing trade, an expansion trade, right? So that's what we're looking for here. And where's it going to go? Well, it's going to be taking out these highs here at 60 cents. So what's the price action going to look like in a bull case? It's a lot nicer when we're just talking bulls and not, doomsdays. Anyways, throwback level, amazing, perfect tap, fantastic. If we see price move up here, back into the bullish, dip down a bit, higher low, and then rocket, right? So this is the real money maker right here, right? 35 cents up to the highs, right? I'm not, you could be getting long here, but you're risking downside to 25 cents, which is quite significant at these low value coins, right? The percentage moves, especially on leverage, that's like 20% or something ridiculous. So yeah, there's opportunity here. There's a lot of it. You just need to be patient. That's it. We've identified the trend, identified strong fundamentals. I always, been using this for 8 years, and I still get lost on it. But yeah, the trade here, look at that. That's the money maker, and that's what I'm waiting for. So again, once you're done mocking up your charts, throw those alarms up on the levels you identified. And you can do it you can front run your levels, right? Sometimes you're not at the computer, so if you front run them, it gives you time to get over there and keep an eye on things. Alt season, yeah, I mean, we kind of just had one, right? It's kind of more of a DeFi season than anything. But I don't think alts are dead. I think they're going to come back pretty strong. And that's my thoughts on Ren. It's one of the stronger projects in the space. Happy to buy dips. Happy to buy breaks of key resistance levels. And again, this breaks. It's going to be a very high momentum move for Ren, which loves to move really fucking hard and fast. So great trade setups there. Fantastic. Let's take a look at what KIF is this on here by chance? Okay, it's right there. Perfect. Yeah. It doesn't look great, does it? It reminds me a lot of the ETH BTC chart, which we'll get into very shortly here, guys. Yeah, this is a rough one. There's not a lot of price history. It's really fucking choppy as well. So what I'm doing here is I'm trying to find a smooth chart, not something where it's like, right? I want to see a wave. I want to see waves. And why? So I can identify levels, of course. Anyways, this is probably the weekly level to be watching right now. That's down there at what, 11, 12 cents? That's pretty significant drop from here. Yeah, 63%. So your ideal buy zone, if you can see a Wyckoff throwback off this, there's just no price history to really give it some high weight, right? So that's why we have to take the bodies of these springs of where did this move actually originated from. Prices love to retest those. So if price gets down there, I'd be interested, but otherwise I have no idea what this thing does. lower lows, lower highs. There's nothing really to be excited about. The only bullish case I could see short term right now would be that it's at support. Intraday hourly support. Here it is, but it doesn't look great. All right, moving through. Link. This is a big one. I think it's up 10% today or something ridiculous like that. Look at that nice V bottom, eh? That's beautiful. All right, let's zoom this out to the daily. So we like starting on those high time frames. This is a really easy chart. To see what's going to be going on, right? Very clear, defined bearish throwback levels. So it's that means it's a very clear and defined trade, right? You see a break of this, it's going to go take out these highs here and there, right? So you already have your targets. You already know how you're going to be trading this, right? So let's see down here. Now, Link, I think a lot of people were hoping this thing would get back to $5. It would have been an amazing chart. It would have really cleaned this thing up as well, right? You can see, this entire zone was really untested, right? I was hoping this was going to, get rejected a little bit around here and then finally fill that gap. That would be amazing. Again, but this Bitcoin news with PayPal and stuff might save the market for Link Marines. Anyways, what do we need to see right now? Well, if you're long, you do not want this daily candle to fall. And this is a nice little daily level, actually, now that I take a little closer look at it here, right? A little bit of respect here. Not much, but this was a former range support. So what do I need to see right now to, first, what are we going to be looking for? Well, a break of these highs, and we're probably going to go up to test there. So boom, that's a confirmed move, 12%. Fantastic. I love it. And then I think we'd be moving off to take out these highs here and inevitably these highs here. So what would trigger these trades, right? If you're not already long off this level here, again, you can't be watching every chart, every market, so don't beat yourself up if you don't get every trade. But the point is being proactive and identifying opportunities ahead of the time. Look at that, right? It's like, I'm not really interested in this trade here, this little range, right? I don't care if this gets filled or not. I want to see range expansion. That's what I'm looking for. So like that, right? So what do you want? High risk, 11% trade, or low risk, 30% trade, low risk, 44% trade, right? So that's how I approach the markets and stuff. That's how I believe everybody should approach the markets. And the key support level to hold up in this range, probably going to be off this throwback level right here. It was already tested once. I like seeing that, right here. So this is like these are those higher low setups that we're always talking about. So yeah, it did go through that throwback the first time, right? Comes down, up, higher low, and that's the entry. Remember, these higher lows and these W patterns are a bullish market structure. And when you see these, probability says that they resolve to the upside. Or again, if you see obviously the M, probability says downside. But for now, looks good. As long as it holds above this 9.7 level, and more importantly, this 8.3 level, yeah, I think this price is going to rally back up, take out these highs at the very least, and yeah, it should be good. Moving on, IOTX, never heard of that one. Good to see some new faces in the chat there, guys. Welcome, welcome. VET, yeah, let's take a look at that. VET USD. Wow, this is an old one if it's on Bitfinex. Let's take it out to the weekly. Let's see. So that's the first thing I like to, new charts, new projects I've never heard of. I want to see how much data is on it and how long they've been around. So, this goes back to 2018. So these guys have been around a while. A pretty messy chart. They've just had a really nice run. And it's pretty clear what needs to happen here, right? This level right here, I'll be a little bit generous. You could obviously tighten this a little bit, but whatever. So this is the weekly throwback. I think as long as these lows here hold 007, wow, this thing must have a huge supply. Can only imagine. Yeah, so if this level, as long as this holds, I think the market structure is intact for the bulls. We've had, this is a classic play here. This is what we talk about all the time. It's not necessarily why. So we break this weekly level, and what happens? Fucking high velocity, high momentum move, right? We've been talking about this on all these other charts. You don't need to buy these. Just wait for the throwbacks. Sure enough, that's exactly what we're getting, right? So if we see this price here hold up, I think this could be a really really nice long. Again, I have no idea what these projects do. Bullish throwback. There we go. Always label your charts. Always label your charts. So what are we going to be seeing then? Let's take some price ranging. If you're getting long here, risking 31% downside versus first stop 66. That's 2 to 1, 3 to 1. It's not bad. I'd be, I don't necessarily, you wouldn't want to be market buying this stuff. Set some limit orders if you're interested in it. See if you can get a fill. I'd say if it moves above, this is a weekly chart, right? But this is a pretty clear bearish throwback level right there, right? So I've already been tested once and confirmed as well. That's why I have confidence at this level of being your first upside target, right? Support, 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 death, retest it, resistance, new lows, right? So this is going to be your decision point. If price can move above here, happy to get long, take it to the range highs. Fantastic. KIF chart, but all good. Okay, moving on, Origin Protocol. So that was, there was some OTC action on that one. Actually, let's get in. Some people are waiting for this XVH. Sorry, Ali. Early bird gets the worm. Wow, look at this. XVH, Haven Protocol. Haven Protocol. What's this one do? I think we've tried this one a few times before. Look at the increased volatility after it broke this accumulation range. What a trader's wet dream on this one. Anyways, another very clear chart of what needs to happen here. This support, bullish throwback, needs to hold. It's also weekly support now. I only label things support or resistance once they've actually confirmed that by revisiting those prices. Otherwise, I just call them throwback levels because they're untested. So what do we need to see? Okay, so that got respected. So that's going to be your alarm point for this stuff, right? Okay, so take those targets there. You'd be targeting these highs here, just like that. You might see a little bit of something resistance-y type thing there, 00035. But yeah, I wouldn't want to be getting long until I see a break of this weekly level here. If I'm not longing support, that is, right? I'd be targeting first stop would be a nice little almost 20% move, taking out these range highs. And your second move, yeah, there's probably a weekly level here, 56, but inevitably your target up to there, right? One confirmation point, 3 targets. That's how easy using this method is to identify trade setups and stuff, right? Invalidation point below this level here. Fantastic. Message retracted. Okay. What else do we got here? KIF, XVH, FED. Okay, I think we've gone through everything there. So I'm going to quickly dive into the DeFi PERP one because DeFi is not dead. It's not going anywhere. And these are coins that I'm going to want exposure on. Why? Well, little birdies have told me that DeFi is not dead and that investments continue to pour in, right? So this is the key level right here. Look at that tap. Like, this is a fantastic area to bounce from, right? And that's why I think we can see some bounces across the DeFi board as well as the Uniswap coins as well. So yeah, it's fucking messy. I'm not going to do that. Fuck that. So what do we need? What do we need to see right now? Well, we need to see this level get cleared. It's simple as that. So technically, we could be in a range, right? This has been a really nice support level. This is the first higher low on the daily, right? Actually, I don't think it. Oh, it did make a new lower low, correct? So we haven't even put in the first higher low yet. So technically, this is still this is very early bull. let's call it that, right? So what are we going to be looking for then? Probably something like this, guys. You got the stoke down here as well, so that nice momentum indicator. A little bit of buyback volume there, right? 10-day buy volume high. That's awesome. Anyways, so support level, as long as this level here holds at the 1600 mark, I think it's all right. Yeah, it could totally wick, similar to what we saw here. But when you see, if things get sold down and you see sharp buybacks, that's indicative of strong bid in the market. And off of these things, you often see reversals in momentum, right? And sure enough, that's exactly what happened here. Like, look at these candles. Oof, I love seeing those. Anyways, yeah, I'll be targeting something like this, coming back down, blah, 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 blah. Higher low, that, if we get a higher low in this range, so our new range to watch is going to be between here, right? So if I see a higher low developing in here, I'm going to be pretty confident that this is going to resolve to the upside. And you would be targeting these levels here. Right there. Bearish. Well, it's the bearish throwback. It got tested. It got respected. So we'll call this resistance for now, right? So fantastic trade setups to be had here. Move up to here. And then if we saw even a move back down and that's supported, blah, 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 take out these highs here. Sniper shot. So that's what I'm going to be looking for, right? Looks really good, doesn't it? So it looks fantastic. And then you can apply that. So this is the index, but you can apply this to the majority of DeFi coins. Yes, I know Binance has a different index. That's okay. All right, Ali, let's see what you got here. Try to find resistance. Oh, yeah, Filecoin. Sorry, guys. I meant to get in that a little bit earlier. I think I even removed it from my charts. So let's pull it up. I'll use a USD. It's a little messy on Kraken. Let's see what Gemini. Those are futures. Wow, that looks fucking bad. Get away from that. I mean, like, they all look bad. PERP. So, this is normally what I trade, so I'll stick with it. Doesn't look great, but like I said, these aren't areas you want to be shorting. This is, in fact, support. Look at that. So I'll label it up too. I meant to keep this chart for myself. Support, just like that. Okay. This is a very easy and clear chart to read. I guess we'll get into dots after this guy, guys. So this is your bearish throwback level. Actually, let's call it resistance. Why? Again, I'm just calling it resistance because it's already tapped the bearish throwback level and respected it, right? All right, so again, this is I'll do the exact same thing that we just did for the last coin, right? So it's very clear that we have a nice little range forming here. As long as this holds, like the inflation on Filecoin is insane. And daily distributions in every block, it's just continuous selling pressure for a long time, probably. Anyways, you could be taking a long off the support. And if you are, what you're going to be looking for, so you could draw this over, right? Okay, that's really bad. But odds are it would tap up to this resistance level, come back down. And if we saw it move up here, right? So you could be taking like trades within this, probably like little scalps and stuff. I'm not really interested in it. I'd rather catch the big swing trade because there's so much upside here, right? I want this. I don't give a shit about what's happening in here. This is just consolidation chop, right? I don't care. So, right. So if it hits this resistance level, expecting to come back down, higher low, that's your, that's the trigger right there. And we'd be targeting minimum price target number 1. It's going to be this level right here, right? It's already been confirmed. It's already been respected, right? $44, $45. That would be my target 1. Moving up from what is that, like $34? It's still a good 20-30% move, right? And if it really got going for whatever reason, you'd be looking at these levels here, right? $50, take the median of it, $52 or something like that. So yeah, and to the downside, I guess we have to go over both, right? Yeah, I saw that. That was a big fuck up there on their part, Ali. So if you guys aren't aware, Filecoin had an incentivized testnet, and I guess some of these coins were able to move over to mainnet, but they were supposed to have a vesting schedule, meaning that they were locked for a period of time and distributed linearly over a period of time, right? Apparently that didn't happen, and they were all unlocked when they got transferred over. So people, massive, just sell, right? Like it's free money. It's literally free money. The test coins were nothing. Anyways, what we would be looking for, $26. It's going to be that key level. A lot of these people, like what's scary about Filecoin is that a lot of people, guess what their buy-in price is? Right around here. 85% lower from where we are. So they ran an interesting auction. The sooner you entered, the better the price you got. I think it closed out pretty quick. They raised like 200 million bucks or something like that. The $75 buy-in was for the advisory round. So those guys are really fucking laughing. I doubt Filecoin gets that low, but I guess there's some drama going on over there in China with a lot of these guys. They purchase hardware for this, and then they need to have Filecoin to use it. And now they have to buy a Filecoin at $100 billion fully diluted market cap. It prices your community out. It's the exact same thing that just happened to Uniswap, right? Well, not just happened, but was happening. Let's take a quick look at Uniswap, actually. So I'm going to keep these charts open. Oh, I did have Filecoin right here. So I'll take this and we'll do Uni next here because I want to talk about this one. Where's my Uni PERP? There it is. Thank you. This doesn't look as bad, eh? Still holding that support level there. Hasn't confirmed that it's bullish just yet. Why hasn't it confirmed? Because we have a series of lower highs and lower lows, right? Lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower low, lower low. So this could be, this is the range. This is how you got to approach this. I'll do this first. So this is going to be our bearish throwback level, right? 3.5 off my head, 3.7 around there. Okay. And we got our wick support. Okay. All right. So these are your invalidation levels within this little range consolidation. And you can see just identifying that the throwback level as well as the support identifies your range, which then once you have that knowledge, you know what the range expansion targets are going to be. So, super valuable and super easy tools that you can utilize to really, help your trading out. Anyways, so this would be our target 1, right? This would be the bearish throwback level we were expecting up here or something like that. So we can label that resistance. All right. Now we know what that looks like. If we do see, I'll draw a quick little diagonal off of this. Oopsies, draw a quick little diagonal. I don't like it. Only 2 hits, not interested. It's not enough weight for me. But if we do see this right here, so I'm going to set an alarm because for me, this would be the first high before the drop that got taken out. This could be your first early signal that the market was trying to reverse, right? So that's what we're looking for here. Invalidation point, obviously, for this range, if you're trading a little bit more loosely, it's going to be around like 2.455. Go ahead, put an alarm on that. And our targets then, in terms of percentage moves, if you're taking the long right here, what's your downside risk? That's the first thing you need to figure out, right? What could go wrong, not what could go right. Think about the downside first. So your first target going to be up to here. That's not a trade you want to take, right? This is why I say don't fucking trade the range. Who cares, right? If you're more bullish, you'd want to be holding this to the range highs here, right? 22%. Even that's not great. That's fucking awful, right? From a risk reward perspective. So I'm not interested in trading these little ranges here. What I am interested though is if we saw price peak above here, I'm going to say back above here, I'd be interested in these trades up to resistance, right? The reason why is because, again, I'm going to have confirmed momentum behind me. I'm going to know the trend is bullish, right? I have all these points of added confluence that removes or mitigates risk. And then inevitably, again, if we break this, so this would be your next trade, right? Like I would be taking profit up here. Even if I think, this can go higher, odds are you're going to run into resistance and you're going to get that pullback, right? And then you can just rebuy when you see confirmation once again. And then your inevitable target is going to be up here. This is the real meat. So what would the price action look like as we move up? Well, probably something like this. Whoa, 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 like that. And now what you would be looking for in this case is for this range resistance right here, right around like 3.5, 3.455 to flip to support, right? And then I'd be pretty confident. Go like this, consolidating that, and then up. Nice little staircase. And look at that, right? Remember what I was saying about those 3 drives, right? Drive 1, drive 2, drive 3. The third drive is usually the fastest, and these consolidation periods get less and less. They get smaller. So that's what I'm going to be looking for on there. There's really not much analysis needed to the downside, right? Like, where would this thing go? Well, let's take a quick look at it. If this thing flops out here, boom, probably like, come down to this low, right? If it could sweep this low down here, like, what is that, 210? This would be you don't want to short this, right? You don't want to short this right here. You would want to be, if you're bearish, you'd be shorting this throwback right here. This support here were to flip, here as well, were to flip to resistance. I'd be pretty confident this thing was about to dive. But, right, I think with Bitcoin, the way it's looking right now, and other major alts, and the inbound liquidity that I think we see over this next quarter, or more specifically after the election is completed and results are verified, I think the space is going to see a big liquidity boost for sure. All right, take a quick look here at, I think we've gone over all of these ones. Oh yeah, RSR. So this is a perfect example of insider trading. It's come off this is just a great, not only does it have the fundamental driver on it right now, or sorry, the news driver, but it also has really good technicals to back it up here as well. Okay, I drew that really, really poorly. I'll clean that up a little bit. Okay. So this was, the real, it was already tested once though, right? So there's no inefficiency there that needs to be filled. Kith and Finance, okay, we'll dive into that one in a sec. So what are we looking for then? We're looking for these resistance levels to flip to support. Sure enough, there you go, right? So, but, is this an area you want to be getting long at? No, it's not, right? This is literally the bearish first resistance level. Let's just put it that way. So, if price moves above here, I'd be interested. Price moving above here, probably a nice trade. 36% up to there. I've missed this move already, so I'm not totally interested. Kind of just watching to see what price action looks like. But zooming it down again, using the exact same model that we were just talking about. If you think this move is going to have continuation, where is it going to go, right? Well, it's probably going to retest this intraday 30. Actually, I'll put this on the hourly. All right, it's a little bit cleaner. So if this hourly level here holds, I think that's going to be, that could be your bullish entry off of this, and it'd be a nice tight invalidation on that stop loss. Say if it lost like 11284 or something like that. So in fact, I'll put an alarm on that and an alarm on these highs like that. So what are we going to be looking for? Something like this, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. If it holds here, get that nice little higher low right off here. I'd be pretty confident that we're about to drive up. This was the first impulsive move. We're getting that retrace, and what happens here is going to, for me, tell me if this is a real bull market or trend forming, more better phrased, or if this was just some bullshit news or speculation. More importantly, I don't think they've actually announced anything just yet. But yeah, looking for that. I think there's great upside here. I know the investor base. Let's take a quick look at it actually. So Crunchbase is a fantastic tool. What is that? Reserve rates. Reserve protocol. Reserve rights. So I need to find out the company who actually makes this stuff. So this is kind of like a little look into how I like look into coins and stuff. Wow, really nice 24-hour volume on that. Super liquid, right? This would be wow. Fully diluted, 1.3 billion. Nice. Look at that. Fuck, that is exactly what you want to see. Nice rising volume with price, right? That shows strength in the market. It's fantastic. Okay, so reserve. Let's try and take another look. Sometimes you just got to play around with the. There we go. I think this is the right one. Yeah, San Francisco. So then I can, with this information, do they have company financials? No, they don't. Okay, that's weird. Normally there's like company financials and you can see who's invested them and stuff. But I know for a fact like Coinbase is big on this one. Brian Armstrong is in on this one. A bunch of the other, blue chip names that we know. So that's interesting. Anyways, Crunchbase, highly recommend it. This is one of the few subscriptions that I actually go for the pro route for, just because I use it so much for OTC stuff. But back to the charts. So that's kind of our thoughts there in RSR. SXP, I know RT was looking at this one, and very similar to what we're seeing. Oh wait, this is a different one, I think. Is there a better one? It has to be. I think I might have chosen a really shit. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So this, clearly at the daily support level here. Just like that. So this is a really, low risk trade, really. Look at like your invalidation point is, even if you were to market long right here, it's a tight invalidation, right? 15%. That's not too bad compared to what we've seen in some of these other ones where it's like 30, 60% plus. So this is going to be our bearish throwback target, just like that. This is our range, right? So we got the bearish throwback. Now we have our range. This is going to be resistance number 1. It's not a bearish throwback. It's just straight up resistance. This is the bearish throwback, which was untested, by the way, which can make this trade really interesting. I will draw a correlation of why in a second if I can find my Ren chart. Goodbye, Algorand. Nobody will miss you. Oops. Okay, that's not the greatest check to be going off on this one. Okay, this is better. All right, so this is what we were talking about, guys. So, this was down at a key daily level as well. This was an untested bearish throwback level. People were like, oh, there's no way it rallies that hard and that fast to fill that inefficiency. It did, 150% rally. So why not do the same here? Like, right? Think big or go home. So that's, this is the inefficiency that I'm looking to get filled off of this. If this can make a higher high, even off of this 1.23 level, right? I'll put an early alarm, I'll call it. So even if you're not confident, you don't want to hold it that long, like it's not going to go straight up. It's going to take some time. But first target is still a really fantastic trade here, guys. 46%, right? So it's 3 to 1 just off of that. And normally I don't like market longing, but that's not too bad. It's a really clear invalidation point, really clear targets here. What would price look like then? What would we be looking for? There's multiple, there's not just going to be one entry point. Like this is an example of an entry point, right? Buying the range lows, buying daily resistance. It's part of, like, that's your entry technique, right? So what are we going to be looking for? Well, something like this. Boom. Nice and pretty. Higher low, right? This level here, that little daily level that we puked off of, turns back to support, confirming A, the support, and B, the bullish momentum in the market. And we'd be looking to target this 1.75 range, right? Maybe it overshoots a little bit, right? You got a nice little level here as well. Say 1.8. Anyways, if it does overshoot, if this flips to support, game over, bears. This thing is fucking, it's going to go up. It's going to hit this bearish throwback level around like 2.5, 2.6, and trade complete. Everybody's happy. It's 100% move. Anybody has any questions on that, feel free to drop it in the box. I will get to them. All right, let's take another look at Kif. I know he was away from the computer when he was here. That's all right. It'll be a quick one. As we were saying before, doesn't look great. I think we ended up bringing this one back down to the hourly after identifying this quick little throwback range daily level here. Right, oops, right there. So even if this does go down, a little bit more from where it is, it's coming into a pretty, nice level to about 20% from here. In order to get, a signal of bull, we're going to have to see this former daily support block up here get flipped back to support. And you can see here, this level is confirmed on this little wick here, into it, rejection, hard rejection, in fact, and fades down. So that's what we're going to be looking for on KIF. I think there's some great opportunities on that one. I don't, it's only on Uniswap though, so there's no leverage or anything, which, sucks. But where's my price range? So your downside, like I said, 22% downside. But if you can get a fill somewhere in here, like, 23 cents or 23, 20 cents, I think there'd be some really nice trades to be had there, right? Your downside is going to be a little bit more limited if say you're going along here, taking that off there, daily level invalidation, about there. That's not bad, 3 to 1, 4 to 1, depending on how tight you want to keep your stop losses. Looks pretty good to me. Let's take a quick look at the crypto full market cap. Total. Oh, it does. Look at that. How convenient. Perfect. So that's a pretty significant break, eh? That's good to see. Unfortunately, my God tier chart isn't here. So, wow, look at that. Oof. Okay. So this is the key weekly resistance level. Look at all the air up here, eh? Look at that. Yeah, first target would be 20%. Remember, this is the total market capitalization of crypto. So this means all these coins would be fucking mooning hard. So, there's some great levels to be keeping an eye out on here. This isn't the tradable asset. It'd be interesting if like FTX made a product off of this though. That'd be kind of cool. Very similar to what we were saying before, this bullish throwback level tested, held, right? We've been kind of stuck in this range for the past almost 2 months, right? But if we do see that move up, we're going to be targeting these levels right up here. Boom. Boom. Right off here as well. So that's what we're keeping an eye on. I think this could easily happen after the election, in my opinion. Your downside risk is obviously this little bullish throwback failing here at 302. Welcome, Jim. Better late than never. Yeah, it's true. I think that's how a lot of people are going to be feeling about crypto going into 2021 here. Better late than never. But again, is this a level you want to be buying on Bitcoin right now? No, not really. Dominance, like I said, at the highs, alts at the lows. I think there's more opportunity. Wait, this is the chart that I've missed. And it's probably one of the most important charts to be watching right now. That's ETH-BTC, right? So, we've been watching this consolidation for a while here. We thought it looked pretty bearish, right? Head and shoulders up here into a bear flag. A failed invert, tried to make a really shallow inverted head and shoulders here, and I didn't believe in it. I couldn't. But you could see it trying to form there or something, right? As soon as it lost this low here, that was it. That was, the writing was on the wall for that one. So again, this is support. Is it a throwback? It hasn't confirmed just yet, right? And that's why I'm not rushing to short this one just yet. But at the same time, as long as it stays below, I'd say like 3196. In fact, I'm going to move this alarm down now. Very similar to moving stop losses. You can move alarms around. It's all good. So what are we going to be looking for if this really does peter out? This bullish throwback, exactly like we saw on Bitcoin. And look what's happened to Bitcoin, right? It held here for a while and then boom, right? Fucking moonshot it. And that's, I really like this idea, this market structure, just because it's exactly what Bitcoin did here, right? Not the cleanest head and shoulders, but it held the range resistance more importantly, right after that swing failure pattern up here. Came back, tested the bullish show back, little consolidation chop, and fucking moon it. So that's what I'm honestly going to be expecting on ETH BTC. I think things are going to line up really well. I think Ethereum 2.0 launching is getting very close, and it's not going to be a simple switch. It's going to be a transition period. It's going to take time, but the point is that the staking is going to take probably a large percentage of the supply, of the circulating supply, out of the market, right? And that's the other metric we've been watching a lot, is exchange inflows and outflows. And what that can be indicative of is accumulation or distribution, right? So normally if you see say a lot of miners or just a lot of inflow in general to exchanges, I'll use Bitcoin as an example, that's usually indicative of sell pressure, impending downside, etc. We're not seeing that. We're seeing the opposite right now. Let's see if I can, what chart would do that? Let's try Masari here. Okay. Masari is another one I subscribe to as well. Just really easy to navigate data. It's fantastic. To quickly take a look here, inbound. I don't think that's going to work. Let's try and load this up. I really want to show you guys this. Bear with me just for a second. Okay, I don't have it. I'll find this for our next stream and give you some resource links on that, because this is super valuable information to be monitoring, and everybody should be aware of this stuff. But my point is that the exchange outflows from spot exchanges has been on a very nice trend, very similar to the slope that we're seeing here. And again, with the news, with the news that's come out today, again, institutions and commercial, private and public companies putting crypto on their balance sheets are going to be the big drivers of this run. I really don't think retail even gets interested until it's back over 20K. Nobody's talking about it. Nobody's talking about Bitcoin from the retail space right now, right? It's all institutional chatter. It's all companies, right? So something to keep in mind there. And once the retail comes in, that's where that's where things could get really funny. And the other really important thing to be watching right now as well on the data side of things, pull up skew. I'll sign in here. Market data, futures, Bitcoin. Okay. Let's see what. Oh yeah. So this is what I've been most interested in. It's kind of been validating my idea around institutional adoption outpacing retail adoption, and how Bitcoin specifically is going to be a top-down approach rather than bottom-up, grassroots. Obviously, there's some of that early on with the evangelists, but I think it's past that phase at this point. And yeah, just seeing this increase in volume, it's 200 million added in the last 2 weeks. So yeah, I think this is going to be rising significantly this quarter. The PayPal, again, it's constant validation after validation for the news. Same thing with Bakkt. In fact, I think they're deliverables. So they have two things, right? They got the cash settled stuff and the futures, and then you got the physical settled futures where you actually take delivery of the underlying asset, right? And that actually hit an all-time high, I think, on one of their daily contracts. I think it was 320 BTC. Doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're going from zero, it looks really good when you put it on a curve. So the other news that we saw, and look at that, right? That makes sense. So this is the BitMEX OI. This thing is just constantly trending down. I think it's going to continue to trend down for a little bit. Yesterday, they announced that they were ramping up their KYC times to get your verification time. So you have to be verified, I think by like November 5th or something off my head, or end of November, which was moved up substantially from, I think you had until March or something, February or March of 2021 before. Deribit also announced that they're now doing KYC and stuff on their customers. And I think this is pretty expected. I think it's good for the space, right? I think it's going to attract more liquidity, right? I know a lot of people in crypto, including myself, not big fans of KYC and AML. We like our anonymous trading and all that stuff. But, it's just not the direction the space has gone, right? Institutionalization brings regulations. And with regulations comes KYC and AML policies on geofencing, all that stuff. So I think it's going to get worse in that sense before, it gets better. I think the majority of services will have some KYC aspect to them, unless you're using decentralized services, right? And that could, all these crackdowns on the centralized exchanges and the KYCs on not just exchanges, but other services and stuff as well, is probably going to be a big pusher, not only for driving developers to develop new tech, decentralized trading tech, but also for volume and stuff. Even though finally, we're going to finish it up here with this info. Because I thought this was pretty interesting, right? We're fine. Look at that, guys. You see, this is what I'm saying. So much confluence. Wow, look at that. Liquidity's at 3 billion on Uniswap. But more importantly, this volume. What is this? A daily? Perfect. We're seeing a nice little revert, potentially your first reversal on the Uniswap, right? And that kind of is in line with what we were seeing in the altcoin space, altcoin markets right now as well, as they hit those key bottom levels, right? So I don't want to be selling alts down here. Let's put it that way. Your time to sell was 2 months ago, a month ago, even a week ago, but not now. Don't capitulate now. Unless we break some key support levels that we'd mentioned before, I think we could be seeing a reversal here in the Uniswap stuff. So that's fantastic. There's going to be a lot more pre-sales coming out and all that stuff. So there's a lot of opportunities in the market. I think we're going to wrap up pretty much here. Do a quick last little overview of the majors before we drop off. Bitcoin, it's about a couple $150 off the highs. Consolidating, looks all right. Stokes almost to the bottom there. Ethereum, Ethereum is really coming to that key resistance level here, right? So, if it can break and close above 400, pretty confident, 425, and then moving up to 440 on that stuff. And we'll see how it goes. Colin and I will be back here on Friday, same time, and hopefully the markets will not have shit the bed. We'll be over 13K, 400 on ETH, and all will be good. If you like our content, be sure to like, subscribe, share it, and we will see you here on Friday.